Hello, my name is Mike Downs. Welcome to my Sped Talk presentation. Today I will be presenting about the React framework. I'll be briefly explaining what it is, why you should use it, and show a brief example of what I've been working on this semester with the React framework. So to begin, let's start with some basic web development terms or things. So the first thing is JavaScript. So if you don't know what JavaScript is, it's a simple programming language that's used for the web. It's similar to Python and C# and things, where you have different variables, you have functions, you have loops, things like that. It's basically a programming language that we use for the web. Now, for the web, we also have two markup languages. We have HTML and CSS. CSS is the styling that we use on a web page. So if you want to maybe color a button, or to position maybe the text a certain way, you would use CSS for that. Now HTML is like the skeleton structure of a page. It has a bunch of different tags, like headings or paragraphs or links that you can build your web page with. And it's, like I said, overall the structure, the basic structure or skeleton of the page. Then another important thing to know with the web is the DOM, or the document object model. So basically, in a nutshell, what it is, it's a data representation in some sort of form in the web browser, whether it's just, the basic data, almost like ones and zeros, kind of like within the computer, or it's a HTML file that the browser has. And the reason why that I'm bringing this up is we use JavaScript to manipulate the DOM. And with JavaScript's frameworks, which is I'm about to dive into, the framework itself manipulates the DOM with what we need it to do. So now what is a JavaScript framework? Well, it's basically a rendering system. You think of it as an easier way to create web pages where we don't have to directly maybe alter the DOM. We can just simply develop it, and we can let the framework maybe take care of maybe some of the complex things that we might have to worry about if we just use simple vanilla JavaScript. So now, just to briefly explain how it makes our life easier, on our left is an example of vanilla JavaScript. So just plain old JavaScript, no frameworks, no libraries, no nothing. Where if we wanted to create maybe an element, add it to another one on the page, then we have to create it first, put in the content, add it to the parent, and also, if you want, add any styles to it. Now, this may seem pretty straightforward, and it is, but doing it over and over again can be pretty cumbersome and hard to maintain. So that is where JavaScript frameworks come in. So with the JavaScript framework, so this is an example on the right, where we can basically almost, work within HTML. We can add in dynamic pieces, like you can kind of see with the curly braces. You can add in different things from maybe objects that we're using, or just results maybe up above that, we put through an algorithm and we figured out. But either way, it puts it in a more simple structure, a more straightforward structure, where it's easier to maintain and easier to use. Now, what is React? So React is a JavaScript library. It allows you to divide your code into different components. And I'll go into that a little bit more in a second. And React, it's used all over the place. It's a very popular framework right now. You can use it in web apps, you can use it in mobile app development, and you can use it in desktop apps. So now, what are components? So you can think of components like building blocks. You can think of it as Legos that you piece together to form some overall set. Now, the advantage of this makes code reusable. If we make one change, then we don't have to make it everywhere else. Which leads to the next one. It eliminates any redundancy, which is obviously very bad as a programmer. It makes building web pages, very easier, more efficient. It's easier to learn, obviously, when you break a web page down into components. And if you're maybe new to the website, it's easier to take in little chunks instead of a huge overall file. And also with components, and just with the React framework or any framework in general, they have strong communities that a lot of people have been doing it for a long time. So if you have a question, most likely someone will have an answer online. So now I want to show an example of some of these components in action. So if we look here, so this is an example, at least one of the pages in my senior project. So now, just to give an overall view, just the idea of components, where yeah, everything is all put together as one, but like this header element is a component, this cart button is a component, this navigation bar is a component, and then this cart thing is a component, where the point I'm trying to make here is I'm building it in different pieces, different chunks, so then that way if I want to put the web page together, I can make it faster. Now to show an example of this, so here is my product detail page. So you can see all the basic information, picture, whatever. But I want you to know just one thing to show the power of reusing components. So here I have, a button. I have like a quantity thing, where you can add. And then I have a size selection. That's cool, awesome. And what made it really easy to build some of these pages, especially if I need to do it fast, is I can take these components, and if you notice here, I have the button again, I have the size selection again, I have the quantity again. So it just keeps with the overall theme of the site, and I don't have to reprogram or just retype in just some of these things that I'm going to use over and over again. But that is just a brief example of just like a React website, how it kind of works. I don't want to go into the code because obviously I don't have enough time for that. If you have any questions, feel free to to reach out, or just look around on YouTube or just Google in general, and you'll find a ton of information about the React framework. But thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it and hopefully gained something about it, and maybe why React frameworks, or just frameworks in general, are important to use in the world of web development. Thank you.